Just to remind us, the Bible says, "Behold, I make all things new." And that's not just once. It's not just sometimes. It's all the time. Behold, everything is getting recreated. Newness is in the air always. The theme today is there's magic in the air. And just as you read so beautifully this morning, Virginia, there's magic. And the magic's right in here. And the magic's all around us. But you and I need to transform our consciousness to be prepared to reach up and connect with it. We don't have to create it because it's there. We can manifest and create it in our lives, but it's always there. Behold, I make all things new. So this day is so potent because numbers, times of year are potent, and this is a potent time for us to decide how we want to transform our consciousness, our minds this year, so we can grow and evolve into the newness and the magic that's being offered to us. Now, creation is sometimes messy. It's sometimes not too pretty. Sometimes it's a little painful. But it's always beautiful and good in the process of creating something new. However, if you and I are going to grow up, level ourselves, get our frequency to match the frequency of magic and miracles, we need to think about what we're growing into. Because we're not trying to arrive someplace. You and I are just growing in our belief system, in our awareness of the good that's ever present. And in that growth process, there are some of us that need to be repotted. I'm not kidding you. We can feel it. Our life is too tight. We just don't fit in the life that we've created, and it's time to make something new. But what keeps us from stepping out there? What keeps us from getting in a bigger pot? Do any of you have any pots that are a little too big for their pots on your patio or in your yard? I have a lemon tree that really needs to be repotted, and boy, it's going to take some work, you know? And so it doesn't mean it's going to be easy. But once we realize, okay, this is an area in my life where I need some new growth, I need something new, we need to have the belief system and the faith that supports that new pot, that new unknown territory. And I want to read you some quotes from our Science of Mind textbook about what we need to really know and believe in order for us to step into that open space that we don't really know what's there yet, that can be a bit daunting and scary. The Science of Mind textbook tells us the universe is fundamentally, those of you, yes, good. The universe is fundamentally good. Just say that. The universe is fundamentally good. And if we're made of the same stuff as the universe, what are we? Fundamentally good. People are good, fundamentally. They may not behave good, but they're good, all of us. There's a goodness in us, in every person. Goes on to say, Ernest Holmes goes on to say, spirituality may be defined as an atmosphere of good, the realization of God, spirit, love, potential, possibility in our lives. Eternality. It's good, it's good. We have to remember that. It does not borrow its light from somewhere else. It grows it from within. Within us, each and every one of us, there's light that wants to be released, expressed, kindled. That's what the mystics call illumination. And I'm going to talk about that a little later, but illumination, that light within us that wants to be expressed, that unifies us with the magic, the potential, the newness that's ever there. And the last one is the first principle. The first principle is goodness. It surrounds us as infinite possibility and expresses through us. So what are we going to do? If we stretch our faith, come on, stretch it out a little bit. Stretch the faith to encompass all of that good that's already there, as much as we can handle. That's what we express. What are we going to do with it this new year, this 1 year? Well, here's a little quote I found I thought was kind of cute. Dear past, thanks for the lesson. Say it. Dear past, thanks for the lesson. And dear future, I am ready. Dear future, I am ready. So let's look at 2006 for a minute. What did it offer us? One thing I think many of us probably noticed is a lot of famous faces chose 2016 to make their transition. It was a lot of famous authors, actors, singers, politicians, astronauts, authors, journalists made their transition, and it made some of us sad. We lose these people on this plane as they're being welcomed into their new existence. But for us, it's a question we can ask. How well have I lived this past year? Did I affirm the good in life? Did I really show up? I found this list of some questions about making New Year's resolutions, and I'm going to ask you just to close your eyes for a minute. I'm going to read this. It came from one of the ministers David Alt, one of our CSL ministers, and he just asked these questions, and they really brought up some things for me. So I'm just going to ask them to you. I want you to close your eyes and just see if there's something here you want to grow or expand in your life. Did I express love enough this year? Real love. Did I forgive enough this year? Really forgive. Did I stop enough this year? Really stop so I could meet my authentic self? Did I seek adventure enough this year so I could stretch and grow? I mean real adventure. Did I seek wellness this year? Real wellness, what I put into my body as thoughts, emotions, feelings, food. Did I play enough this year to find joy in life? Did I set a goal and see it to completion this year? I mean, really complete it with conscious intention, focus, and discipline. Did I open myself up to learn this year? Newness. Did I clean up my relationships this year? Really clean them up. Remove grudges, false accusations, misguided choices, and make amends for the fearful ways of myself and others. Did I share my good this year? Really share. Meaning I wanted to see other people succeed and happy, not worried about what I would get in return. And did I pray enough this year? Have enough faith in God and good and the universe? What great questions. But they're not questions to punish ourselves or blame ourselves. They're questions to activate, oh my gosh, if I forgot the beauty and perfection of who I am, if I forgot the stuff of which I'm made, the godliness of which I've made, if I forgot that anywhere in my life last year, I want to make it better this year. I want to move forward. I want to remember and make more things possible. So keep the questions going, because if we're going to live a really potent, good year, we've got to be asking the right, good, healthy questions. Really good questions. So, if we know that life is inherently good, if we know the universe is always working for us, never against us, why is it we don't manifest more good in our lives? It's because we put limits on ourselves. Mark Nepo, who happens to be many of our favorites, author and poet, is on the front of the Science of Mind magazine this year. Boy, his article is amazing, really good. And he says, peace comes when we see the whole. Misery comes when we've lost our perception, when we only see things in parts, when we put a period where God put a comma. That's trouble. That's trouble. That's when our life gets painful, when we hurt. We have to keep opening ourselves. So here's some things that I think we get in trouble. The obstacles in our life are when we over-rely on our will, which is good, and our mind. And we put too much faith in form. We give the form in our life too much power. It's like getting stuck with cement around our feet, and we think this is what's real. That puts obstacles in our life. When we forget how good things are, when we become stuck and we limit ourselves. We also get limited when we dwell on what we've lost. How many people just kind of regurgitate what we've lost? Mark Nepo also said, there are no wrong turns, only different paths. And the way I interpreted that from his article was, we're getting the lessons we need wherever we are. We're just having different teachers. And some teachers are kinder than others. Some are easier to understand than others. Some get to the point right away and others don't. But the lesson is the same. It's just we're learning them in different ways. And the last thing I think keeps us really stuck in this world is when we get too focused on comfort, when we get too focused on sameness. And Ernest Holmes has this beautiful practice, and I think it's in his textbook. And he said, if you have these limited thoughts going around in your head, same, enough, same, enough, same. He said, take a moment and step back. Take a breath and dwell on the magnitude of the universe. Just look at the stars, the infinite number of stars in the sky. Look at the infinite number of pieces of sand on the beach. And start seeing bigger, more, and realizing, oh my gosh, there's so much more going on right now than I can see. Every moment there's so much more going on than we can see, but we don't realize it. And we get wound up in thinking about all we don't have or all there isn't enough of, instead of imagining, oh my gosh, I could create this. I could do this. And we don't get as excited enough as we should about all the possibilities that are present. And so we limit ourselves. And instead of living in the magic that's there, we keep our little flame very dim and very small. And we need to be asking, where do I need to stretch more? I want you to ask that. Where do I need to stretch more? Where do I need to stretch to live a bigger life? But not necessarily bigger out there, just bigger in my realm of just what you said, self-appreciation, Virginia, knowing myself better. Where do I need to stretch and grow? I try to tell you each month what the shaman says. The shamans say, and this month is about flexible persistence. We can't let go of working on what we know is true. It goes right with our values. What are the values we want to expand? And it's going to make our choices easier for us. So I'm going to ask us today. Mark Nepo says if we want to be and live in this miraculous existence, we have to stay close to what is sacred and give up what no longer works. And that's what we're going to do today. But there's two things in my mind that keep us close to the sacred. If you think about it, the sacred can be beautiful. It can be loving, it can be expansive, and it can be painful, and it can hurt, and it can be loss. But what keeps us connected to the sacred is love. Love is the grandest healing power in the world. We know that. It makes everything better. There isn't a person in this room that doesn't need to love and be loved. There's not a person in this world that doesn't need to love and be loved. It is magic. It creates miracles. It can make something out of nothing. So if we just expand the love in our life for ourselves, for others, for this whole world, life gets better. And the other thing that keeps magic and the sacred alive is faith. But not faith that is just rote and we read our Science of Mind magazine, we read the affirmation in the morning, and then we go out and do whatever we want in the daytime. It means we really have faith that life is good and we live that way. We have faith in that. Remember, Albert Einstein said, really there's only two ways to live this life. As if everything is a miracle, or as if nothing is a miracle. It's up to us. We decide what we want to create in our life, how we want to live. So we're going to do a little magic this morning. How do you like that? Abracadabra. It's going to show us how much we love, how much belief we have in ourselves, and what we're going to do with all that amazing goodness we've got. So I'm going to ask you to get out your little paper and pencil, and if you don't have one, if you snuck in here without one, then raise your hand and we'll get you one. Did anybody sneak in without a little tiny piece of paper? Remember, there is no order of difficulty or size to miracles, so this is miracle paper. Even though it's small, it's mighty and potent. I want you to know that we do not have to put this world in order. The world is already in divine order. The only work we need to do is to put ourselves in alignment with the divine order of this world. Put ourselves in alignment. So this little paper is going to release to this infinite mind of unlimited potential, unlimited creativity. It's going to release to this undifferentiated potential. It's going to do that. It's going to release that, and we're going to have faith that it's working. Okay? So in order to do that, I want you to have your little paper and pencil ready. And you might probably want to write it on your program, because we're going to write it. You can fold it in half if you're one that doesn't follow the rules too well. We're going to write something on the top and something on the bottom. All right. So to start our abracadabra, I'm going to just invite you to close your eyes once again. And I want you to feel the unconditional presence of God's love that is right here in this room in its fullness. Knowing that God's love is everywhere present. It is the stuff of life. There is nowhere it cannot be. We can close our eyes and our awareness to it, but it is everywhere present. And just breathe in and allow yourself to feel the presence of God's love. It fills this room to overflowing, and we're in it and part of it. We are here. Now, in order for us to be in alignment with the perfection of this world, we have to let go. We have to let go of whatever is keeping us stuck or separate. Remember Mark Nepo's words: peace, love, joy, possibility reside in wholeness. So right now, at the top of your paper, we're going to do what the mystics do. We're going to take the first step towards mysticism and purify ourselves. So ask, in order for me to be living God's highest vision for my life, what do I need to let go of? Is it fear, anger, lack of faith, unhappiness, limitation, grudges, resentment, blame? What is it that you need to let go of right now? Small thoughts about yourself and life. It doesn't have to be anything but a couple of words that represent what's being let go of to purify. Your mind, so you can live from the fullness of your heart. Heart-centered living. And now, as I explained earlier, there is our intention at the Centers for Spiritual Living is to have a value for our lives that we focus on. And it's not just one value, but a value every month that we can focus on and grow. But today we're going to choose a value for this year, 2017, that will allow us to expand into our greatest yet to be. I'm going to read some values now, values to live by. And if one calls out to you, don't worry if you choose one now and there's another one you like. There's plenty of values for all of us, but just grab the one that opens your heart. Appreciation, belief in others, caring, commitment, compassion, cooperation, courtesy, dedication, devotion, effort, forgiveness, friendship, gratitude, honesty, hope, faith, integrity, listening, love, optimism, patience, respect, right choices, sacrifice, tolerance, unity, vision. Mark Nepo says, life is made just as difficult as necessary to know that we need each other. Just as difficult as necessary to know that we need each other. And I'm going to end with a poem by Starhawk from her book Dreaming the Dark. This year, 2017, InSpirit is committed to supporting the community through creating circles and really supporting one another. And this poem, I think, holds that. So magic in the air doesn't just come from the creative process of manifesting dreams. Magic comes from connection with one another. Starhawk says, somewhere there are people to whom we can speak with passion without having the words catch in our throats. Somewhere is a circle of hands open to receive us. Eyes will light up when we enter. Voices will celebrate with us whenever we come into our own power. Community means strength that joins with our strength to do the work that needs to be done. Arms to hold us when we falter, a circle of healing, a circle of friends, somewhere where we can be free to truly be ourselves. I know for me that I choose to believe in the connections of life, the connections to God, the connections to the lessons and miracles. We can look at life as it's just an unfoldment of coincidences that really have no meaning. But that's not what I choose. I choose to believe in miracles. I choose to believe in people. I choose to believe that the good I do in my life ripples out and makes life better for others. I believe in each and every one of you and all of us and our InSpirit community. This is a time for new beginnings. And it's you and it's me and it's all of our connections that are going to lift this world to that place of peace and harmony. That new world we see is coming. We're going to do it. Are you with me? Yes. Are we ready to do it now? Yes. Do we believe in each other? Yes. Let's just say happy 2017. We are ready. And so it is. God